Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, so let's talk about episode 16 of Wish from Mercury. So before we talk about anything in this over episode of what really happened, I just want to say I really like what the voice actor for Persevere did in this episode. She really captured the overall personality of Persevere, her motives, like her sinister motive as to what she's planning to do. She captured it superbly in this over episode. It's just like the way she's portrayed her over character, like what she wanted to do, how she's want. Like I don't want to say she's in psycho mode, but like man, the fact that like you can have like a really crispy interaction, you can kind of feel the chill from her, like just being all goofy-ish at the same time being this person like really capable of doing some really disturbing things. So that's pretty much what I have to say about the overall episode in terms of her character. I would even say she's like the spotlight because there were a lot of interaction between Prospera with different casts throughout the overall episode. So let's actually get started. This episode, I will not say is anything too straightforward. We're not really focused on like a specific event, but rather we do see a lot of different perspective from every angle from every character. So that was great. There is not one like there isn't like a huge one singular impact that was like the driven story behind the episode. So I might just kind of ramble along what I kind of remember as far as what really went down the episode. So if I'm jumping all over the place, don't mind me. I'm just kind of like recollecting what I remember from the overall episode. So right at the get-go, we do have Prospera with Bell. They're pretty much continuing on what happened at the end of episode 12. Well, not episode 12, episode 14, where they were talking about where on earth is Eri, right? So pretty much we do have a very clear idea of like why Prospera is continuously pushing for the Quiet Zero. Because at this current time, Eri does not really have like an actual solidified, let's say, network or like a let's say a network that can hold her in a more secure way, because right now she is in aerials. That's pretty much like her main way of staying alive digitally. If you don't have aerials, she pretty much will disintegrate. All right, so that's pretty much the overall premise of it. So with Quiet Zero, is pretty much kind of confirmed that she will be good. She doesn't really have to worry about anything else anymore. So that's why Prospera is continuously pushing for that, and she's dragging Belle along with it because of the fact that what she has done throughout her career with the PAL technology. So she's not out of it. She's kind of like just digging, like, let's say, so Prospera in this episode is like putting salt in her wounds, because like she know what she has done in terms of enhancing human beings and all that. So that's why she nailed Belle right on there, and she pretty much collapsed. She was kind of having like a mental breakdown in terms of Belle. So Prospera is just doing some some nasty work out here, man. Just the way that she's acting in this episode is crazy, man. After that, we kind of jump around in terms of we have television just kind of like showcasing that, oh, the overall incident that happened at the Asakasa, the school, what really went down in Planet Quada. Like we now have like the culprit behind the overall event, the Dana Fall. So that's pretty much that the reason why we have that overall scene, because like pretty much every one of the you can say the bigger, like the big figures, like we have President Delling, we have a Sirius, we have Grill's father. Those figurehead are now pretty much out of the picture. So with growing tensions around Earth, the anti-Spatians, we have a lot of different investigation going on. It's pretty much pushing for pushing for a presidential election within their group. So we obviously, in terms of who's going to be running, We have obviously Shadiq's pretty much probably the only one that's like masterminding all this event, so it can kind of come to this point. We have Gro, he eventually does come back. So he did came back. He's obviously going to be taking care of things because from last episode we know that he is trying to, he's maturing, so he's going to be taking on some bigger roles. Eventually I will have to assume. I don't know I don't even really know what he's going to be doing, because when he came back, he was just kind of like, I wouldn't say he's more like a hiding type deal, because obviously he's not really wanted for anything, but it's just the fact that he was kind of like on the low key, putting his hood and all that. So yeah, so Mione, so those three we have Grill, Sadiq, and Mione. Those three are probably gonna be the candidate to be running for the president. So we will definitely see who's gonna win. I think I'm leaning towards Sadiq taking that W potentially, right? I think just because of his overall motives, what he's trying to do, I think he might even bribe those factions to vote for him and whatnot. So we'll definitely have to see. After that, we do get a scene, going back on school. The school's pretty much on like a lockdown type deal, tighter security, because what happened with the attack from Sophie and Noah. We do have a little bit of a interaction, not so much in a positive way, from different student on the Herb house. They were pretty much spray painting your house because of what really happened, and then the overall exchange ended up with someone throwing a can of spray can at Morton's head, and he was leading. Pretty much, he got injured. Luckily, Mione came back in time to record everything, and that was pretty much it. That was pretty much the end of that interaction. Fast forward to that, they did went inside the house. Pretty much everyone was appreciative of Mione. So people are liking her, so that's good. It just shows that with her, I think just her overall character. I think she's more likable now. I also do think that people are more reliant on her now, because she's kind of like a backbone on a lot of different things. The Gundam projects, we have the Quad Zero, so there are a lot of things piling up for her, and they are, I would say, on the other hand, burden on her as well, just because there are a lot of things for her to take care of. And then we do have a scene of SULETTA trying to kind of tell Mione, oh, can we go to the greenhouse, because I've been taking care of it and all that good stuff. Before we can actually go to the greenhouse, we have a bombshell. We have Prospera just going in there casually. So this portion of it, she's really goofy. She honestly gave me a secondhand embarrassment, as if it was my parent kind of just popping up at school, and kind of surprised me. I kind of get that mom vibe from her at that point. So yeah, she went from this really evil, sinister person at the beginning of the episode, and then in this middle section, she's kind of like, quote unquote, actually like a mother surprising the daughter. So so this scene, at the same time, I didn't like the fact that after Prosper surprised the daughter, she completely ignores Mione, like she was not even there. Stiletto ran towards the mom, kind of greeting her, and all those shenanigans. I'm just like, what? Won't you just shyly talking to Mione, asking her to go to the greenhouse, and now you're interacting like with your mom, like what the heck? So I didn't really like that portion. And then obviously Mione does have that grin on her face, because she knows anytime that we have Prospera is she's up to no good. And then fast forward a little bit, we do go to the greenhouse, and then this scene honestly hurt me to the core, because the overall conversation is pretty much talking about the overall incident, right? I think at one point Mione was like, "Oh, I should be the one that's apologizing, because you saved me and my father, so I was blaming you. I was using really, I was just kind of like using some really terrible way of like saying things to you." But what really hurt was the fact that, oh yeah, I know my mom know that you will forgive me and all that. It's just the fact that every single sentence she says, like in terms of Selena, she had to bring in her mom. Like, why? Do you not have your own intellectual? Like, could you not think for yourself? So this part does kind of piss me off. Like honestly, she did save it, but at the same time, it's not like Vianney explained. It's not right to kill someone. You basically slap the heck out of that person. So, what she still thinks she's right and all that good stuff. And then the one final straw where Mione broke in tear was like, if your mom asked you to kill anybody, right, would you do it? And she gladly said, yeah, I would. My mom tell me to do it. I'm doing it. So this part honestly does hurt because like why? Like can you not tell the overall idea of like the gun armies to help people with the medical technology or whatever, and then you're gonna use that same technology to continue killing people because your mom says so? Yeah, that overall scene was just really really sad. Yeah. And then, jumping a little bit, we do have some interaction between the Pale technology member, kind of like telling Ellen, you gotta go pretty much steal aerials in a way, because what will happen, any of the herb house Mawusu has been compensated because of the Aura incident, and then right now it's pretty much like a prime time for them to kind of import any data from aerials or just kind of see what's going on. Obviously Ellen is going to see if he can retrieve any data from aerials, but he would stop. He pretty much entered. I think he entered maybe perm scored 8 because Arios did went into like a translucent blue phase. So and then during the interaction he was stopped by 12 mini Airy. Pretty much like during the whole interaction, they were telling Ellen that you could not be there, so you gotta get out of here. So he was shortly ejected from the area because he could honestly not take it. The data zone was just way too much for him. If he take any longer than that, that specific clone number 4 would have been gone. So that was obviously like oof, kind of crazy. The fact that we have mini Aries just kind of like chilling there within the overall Gundam. And then I think to kind of wrap up the overall episode, we do have kind of Prospera talking to Mione as another final incident, kind of like another interaction. So pretty much like Mione was yelling at Prospera like, why are you pushing your daughter to do all your biddings and stuff. So that was like it's just the fact that Mione cares so much about her, but while SULETTA only cares about kind of her mom, kind of like following her ideology, like what is it, one step back, whatever, and then once like you move forward, you gain 2. That is like, man, like she gotta snap out of that. So pretty much right now, Prospera reviewed it, her revenge, her vengeance towards her and the father, or pretty much President Delling, because of the overall incident that happened 20 plus years at the Benedict's incident where in the name of witch hunting they kill his husband, they kill her colleagues and stuff. So she's taking revenge. So it was quite interesting how she reviewed that to her and such. So towards the end, she does want Mione to enter for the presidential kind of election and all that, because if anything that's happened, the Quiet Zero plan will pretty much go haywire, because people will start finding things out. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I know that there are a lot of details that I'm pretty much missing out, but can't really review the whole shebang because there was just a lot of things that happened in this over episode where we just have every cast has a little bit of a spotlight and all that. But other than that, do let me know how you guys feel about this episode, and then episode 17 should be another banger, right? So until then, I'll see you guys next week then.